Step 4, interview your birth team. The first time you hired your care provider, you didn't really know what to expect. You might have even hired based on what other people told you about them. But for whatever reason, it didn't work out. They didn't support you. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of hiring the same person who supported them last time. You can still do this if they weren't the reason your birth plan didn't pan out. But before you make that call, I encourage you to dig a little deeper first. Maybe you felt supported in some things you wanted, but not in others. Maybe the care provider you hired was excellent, but they also had limitations within the group practice they were part of. This is what happened to me with Jules. I loved her and would have happily hired her again, but she warned me not to do so. She told me that the practice she was working for trusted machines more than their hands, and that in any case, she was retiring. I also liked a few other midwives from that same practice, but here's the thing. Liking someone isn't enough. If you really like your midwife or doctor and you enjoy talking to them, then ask them out for coffee. But don't hire them just because they're nice. Instead, you need to refer back to what you want for this birth. You need to be fixated on one thing and one thing only. Can this person truly support you in what you want? If they can't, then it doesn't matter how nice they are. They're not going to be able to deliver on what you truly desire for yourself and your baby. It might be a policy that their practice has, or it might be their own lack of training in a certain skill. It might be fear. But as you conduct your interview process, if they tell you that what you want isn't safe or allowed, what they actually mean is, I'm not confident enough to support you in this or to go against policy for you. Choosing a doula is also similar in this sense. You might have really liked your doula and developed that bond with them. It might feel like a betrayal in your eyes for you to choose someone else. But here's why you need to get past that. Your previous doula might not be able to serve you the way you need now. Jenny loved her doula she had hired in her first pregnancy. In fact, we were all good friends. This doula was much older and embodied the maternal energy that Jenny had felt was needed when she was a first-time mom. But while she was very much loved and appreciated, it didn't make sense for Jenny to hire her again. Instead of wanting a mother figure present at her birth, Jenny wanted someone closer in age who was also scrappy in making sure that her clients were not disturbed in their births. Basically, Jenny needed someone who would stand in front of the door and block the nurses and doctors from invading the birth space until she wanted them there. She already knew everything she needed to about physiological birth and her rights, and she already knew that she would want a doula who could assist her during postpartum, as she would have a toddler and a newborn to care for at the time. It simply made sense for Jenny to hire a doula team that offered this additional postpartum service, which not every doula offers. As a seasoned mom, you may also have concerns about how you'll handle your older child or children and a newborn. You might also be planning a home birth after a previously traumatic birth, or you might have had a cesarean and want someone skilled in supporting VBAC. There might also be other services you would like your doula to offer. This isn't to say that your previous doula won't be able to offer these things too, but that's why you're going to want to branch out and interview first before you choose. If your doula makes the cut, great. But if they don't, they'll understand. You deserve to get the support you need, and loyalty can limit your options if you aren't careful. All right, now we move on to journal exercise 2.4. As a reminder, you can get the whole list at empoweringmomsbirth.com/extras. And when you take action is when the transformation happens. Otherwise, it's just information that you're gathering, and it's not going to help you have your empowered birth. So please take these questions seriously, do the work, and that will actually help you to create the roadmap to your dream birth. Because as I said, I'm committed to you having an empowered birth. I will give you everything that you need in order to move forward with your dream birth, but you have to take the action steps. All right, so here are journal exercises 2.4. So now it's time to refer back to your list of questions. You will also want to think about what happened last time and what phrases were said that helped you feel supported, as well as those that you never want to have uttered in your presence ever again. Ask yourself the following. Number 1, when you think back to your last care provider, what did you most like about them? Number 2, what didn't you like? Number 3, what words did they say that led to you feeling like it wasn't safe or that you didn't have control? Number 4, what could have gone better? Number 5, if you had the opportunity to hire them again or had to hire them again, what would you need them to tell you in order to feel confident in having them support you? Now we're going to go into the doula questions. If you hired a doula last time, ask these questions. Number 1, when you think back to your last doula, what did you most like about them? Number 2, what didn't you like? Number 3, what words did they say that led to you feeling like you weren't safe or that you didn't have control? Number 4, what could have gone better? Number 5, if you had the opportunity to hire them again or had to hire them again, what would you need them to tell you in order to feel confident in having them support you? Now that you know what you did and didn't like when you hired your support team last time, you will know what to watch out for so you don't make the same mistake twice. However, I will mention that there is a lot more to hiring a good care provider that goes beyond the scope of this book. I encourage you to check out the resources at the back of this book, as well as read How to Hire Your Care Provider and Your Empowered Birth Plan Roadmap for more thorough training in planning your ideal birth. Finally, we have arrived at the final section of this chapter, getting your family, friends, and partner to support you after you've already had a previously traumatic birth or one where not everything went to plan.